Fusion Mew has long been the preferred way to build the Mew VMAX deck, and rightfully so. It won the Pokemon World Championships. But I was looking at the play limit list numbers, and it sort of made me question that. Like, you look at Fusion Mew's numbers here, you have favorable matchups, you also have matchups significantly lower than 50%. But then you go over and look at the colorless build, and I know it's a much smaller sample size, but the numbers look a lot better. I think the reason is that a lot of people are not playing Spiritomb, and Spiritomb is like the biggest thing that bothers the DT Mew build. Like, it really can't do anything as soon as the other person drops a Spiritomb. So this is the list I'm going to be running today. Shout out to One Salty Steak for the list. And it's just trying to be very fast, very aggressive, very disruptive. And that's pretty much DT Mew's main game plan. Be swinging as early as turn 2, whilst also spamming your opponent back down to 4 cards and shutting off their abilities. And there are very few decks that can compete with that, whilst also having a 310 HP giant just slamming 200 damage in their face every single turn. And even if they can, we have Box of Disaster to sort of equalize that. I did have a couple of games here, but they didn't really go as I hoped. Alright, let's see how we can do with Double Turbo Mew on the ladder. I really actually enjoyed Double Turbo Mew, and it's honestly the way I preferred to play it for a long time. I'm not really much of a Mew player myself. It's not really like my favorite deck out there, but I think it's very solid right now, so I just like want to see how this performs, because like the numbers look pretty good, but like how does it actually translate? Because you know, like statistics can kind of be twisted to mean just about whatever you want them to mean. So let's see if we can back up the numbers today on the ladder. Pretty okay hands to start out with. Like, nothing actually too phenomenal, but like I hate having to cram out one of my 2 switching cards though. We are going first, so I might just bench Cram and play Judge. It depends on what the top deck is. Lost Box is pretty frightening. If it's Giratina, okay, it is Giratina. I'm pretty cool with this matchup because they can use Star Requiem to take 3 prizes, but then they really don't have another way to take those. Like, knock out that second Mew VMAX is very hard. Going second is pretty rough, and always is a chance they're playing Tomb. Like, if they're playing Tomb, they're definitely getting it off this first or second Battle VIP Pass. So we should be in the clear in terms of disruption. Path to the Peak, I guess, still exists. But like, overall, I'm pretty pleased with the Giratina matchup. Okay. Yeah, I'm not really. I guess this matchup is just fine. Like, I don't remember how high it was on the win rate data, but it was one of Mew's better matchups. I love seeing these super odds go early. Cause like their list are only playing 2, and I feel like that is so greedy. So if this is a 1 super odd list, like it makes it really cannot use Radiant Greninja if you have to lost zone a rod and it's a 2 rod list. Unfortunately, we are getting paths early, so okay. I'm happy to see that Nest Ball. I'm going to just use it to grab a Mew V. And then I'm going to play the Escape Rope, attach the Energy, and play this Judge. It's like not an amazing situation because you have to find a Stadium Bump off these 4 cards. And like playing Cram, like Cram has tails, that is awful. So like I'm going to kind of play it safe. Like, yeah, if Cram has heads, that's amazing, but I'm just kind of going to play it safe here. Yeah, not great. So I'll get down another Mew and a Genesect. I'll also retreat back into this other Mew and let my opponent have the next turn here, I guess. So yeah, it really sucks to miss Path to the an answer to Path to the Peak. I mean, playing Judge is awesome. This list is playing super heavy Judge to try to be very disruptive towards those Lost Box players. And so hopefully they can always slow my opponent down. Seeing that they lost a Chorus means, yeah, they have a Chorus there in hand. There probably was a Chorus or Chorus flower selecting. Yeah, pretty unfortunate that they got some nice cards off this, but I guess it's like we're fine. Even if they lost Impact this Mew, we're still okay. It's just really not the situation we want to be in. They aren't quite at lost Impact yet, Mirage Gate yet. But they do have that Jet Energy, so they will have to double gate to attack this turn, which I suppose is something. I'm just going to be playing Judge next turn, probably not playing Power Tablet unless they leave Giratina in the active spot. There's another energy card. I'm very cool with them getting rid of energies with Rod already being gone. Looks like they're just going to keep patting their hand up with flower selecting. And yeah. So like, honestly, is it even worth it though for them to like invest 2 Mirage Gates to like 2 prizes? I think honestly their best play this turn would be to use Lost Mine if they somehow could get there. But it's like really not possible unless they're playing Lost Vacuum. Alright, they get the Mirage Gates. But they will have to have another one and a switch if they want to swing this turn. Looks like they're just going to play the gate and pass. I have to take another tab. Not really anything super useful. So we'll just play that judge. Hopefully we can find a stadium bump. And we do not. So I guess I'm just going to swing with this Mew VMAX. Take 1 prize card. And yeah, this is really looking rough. Like, at least we get to put some sort of pressure on my opponents. It's not... Yeah, there's only 2 Lost Zones to get to Requiem, so I have a little bit of work to do. It's just like, we are not finding any way to balance these paths of the peaks when we have... I mean, like, we don't have a ton of outs, don't get me wrong. Like, we only have 2 stadiums, 3 vacuums. It's just kind of tough not to find a single one of them just yet. Like, Mew is usually way deeper into the deck than... You're not sitting at a 40-card deck turn 3. But I guess it is what it is. They slammed down another Mirage Gates. Just loading up another Tina, interestingly enough. So they likely have a switching card in hand if they're not putting one of the energies on the compy. Maybe they have a Jet. There goes the Greninja. Yeah, really it's hard to utilize Raiding Greninja. Like, yeah, it gets you more cards, but you already spent the Rod. So yeah, there's the Jet like we anticipated. So yeah, this Mew VMAX is going down. So we're going to have to... We really have to respond back with a knockout here or risking too far behind. My opponent Lost Setting Sableye is pretty intriguing because like they can set up 2 knockouts on 2 Mew VMAXs. There's that Star Requiem taking 3 prizes. I love how there's like always that lag on the Star Requiem. Like the game has to be like, yep, you took a knockout. Like they got to acknowledge that Requiem is a thing, I guess. I can Feather Ball for the VMAX, Cram-o-matic. Collapsed is a stadium bump. It's like not really my preferred one. I'm gonna just drop it anyway, at least so I can play Pokemon cards. So do that, we'll do that. Then I will judge, put my opponent much lower. Hopefully can get to this knockout. We found the double turbo at Power Tablet. So hopefully we can find one more tab and Choice Belt. Like we still have Forest Sealstone that is live yet. Okay. We found the VMAX. I managed Ultra Ball out Nest Ball and Path to Peak. I'll slam Box of Disaster on one of my Genesects, I think. It doesn't really make sense to put it on a Mew. So maybe if like they play a rope, I can go into this Genesect. Wow, all our VIP passes and that Forest Sealstones. Like at least we can thin things out a little bit more. Now if this Genesect we have to find Tablet or Belt, or we will be not taking a knockout this turn. So Fusion Strike System for 4. Okay, we need you, Cram-o-matic. We really need you, buddy. This is Tails. This is extremely rough. Okay, we hit heads. So we're at least able to take a knockout this turn. Keep ourselves in the game. I'm going to grab the Choice Belt, and we can use the Forest Sealstone for the another Power Tablet. One thing with this list I wouldn't hate is like these boxes are really hard tech for Guardian, Charizard. I wouldn't hate going up to another Choice Belt, honestly. Okay, let's Techno Blast for the knockout. And yeah, now my opponent is in a awkward position. Like they kind of have to use Sableye to set up a couple knockouts here, but they only have a few cards to work with. And like I have the knockout in hand. We need to find a switching card, and I actually spent one of my robes. That's one thing I really want with this list. I want it. No! Oh, come on! Really? Wow. Honestly, if you're playing a path build with no bounces, I think Drapion is a very poor use of a card slot in your deck. But dang. Guess that's just how it goes with Mew sometimes. It definitely feels bad to be a Mew player and have like those experiences like that where there's really like, yeah, Requiem plus Drapion's going to be auto winning you those games, but it's like it's really not an effective tech card if you're playing Path to the Peak, and it's sort of infuriating. Because people are just like over attacking even though it doesn't really make sense to. But it's okay. It's just the ladder. We will rebound from that. Like, we got off to a pretty slow start. We went second, so like that was just all around a pretty rough game. So hopefully we can do better this time. And like already our hand is much better. Pretty cool face and chin pow. We can get E-Pass going. Honestly, I don't want to have to spend my tab to get another VIP. Like, I tab for VIP, but I'm still not drawing cards. Like, the thing is, Chin Pow is probably playing, what, vacuums? Like, if they're vacuuming a tablet early, they're not vacuuming a path. So I'm just gonna do this. Yeah, I could get VIP Pass with this, Collapsed Stadium, then Genesect for 1, but like, really, what's the point? I'm just gonna evolve, play Judge, and then just save that Power Tablet for later. Like, yeah, I'm gonna get pretty hard punished by a vacuum, but it's okay. So like, we don't know if this is Palkia or the Excalibur build. Also, with this hand, I am in a position where I could chase their only Frigibax and take the knockout on it. Brand is really not going to tell us much. So yeah, still could be Palkia or Excalibur. You don't usually see Drapion or Spiritomb in these Chimpalas. I'm not going to put it past anyone because it's a ladder. So this could be Luminion, like Cologne. Doesn't really. It is a Frigibax. I guess the Cologne definitely is more likely to be in the Excalibur build, but you still sometimes see it in the other build. So we're getting an Iono play on us, so definitely rewarded for dropping the Forest Steelstone instead of like playing cautiously around Vacuum. Actually, like a better hand really. We have the tablets, Energy Mew VMAX. This is an Arceus build. You don't always see that dude in those lists. Actually, I'm gonna cram first, and like we could potentially knock out their only Friggy this turn. Fortunately, is Tails, so I'm just gonna go Mew, go DTE, Power Tablet, and I'm just gonna play Judge. Like, I could draw one with Genesect, and like maybe try to make a play on this Frigibax this turn. Oh, like there's so much upside to this. You know what? I'm gonna do it. Like, Nestball is just more cards. Okay, like if I can kill this Frigibax, no matter if I set up a backup Mew or not, I think I'm in a pretty solid position. I'm just gonna Cram again. Hopefully can find a switch or a boss. Unfortunately, Cram is a lie. So I guess in hindsight, should have just played Ultra Ball. Alright, hopefully we can get something out of this. Fortunately not. So perhaps did that, like, that was definitely greedy, but I feel like the upside is immense if we can get it. So we'll just play that Judge, and hopefully we can. Alright, we did not. Actually, this is like so unfortunate. I'll grab the cart to be able to take this knock, and I can drop the path. But then what feels sketchy about that is, my hand isn't looking pretty. I'm just gonna hold the tab for the Ultra Ball synergy. Like, I path, and then the odds of my opponent knocking me out next turn are incredibly low. But then also the odds of me doing anything next turn are really low. I kind of have to juggle this out here. I'm getting 2 prize cards. You know what the heck. I'll just go ahead and do it. I'm playing ladder here. This is definitely a debatable path here. Like, I maybe should play this more cautiously and not drop that. But also just getting an extra turn on my opponent is objectively pretty good. Like, if I had another DT in hands, if I had more to work with, I would feel better about it. Like, if I had it instantly had a bounce like a Vac or Collapsed or Lost City or something, I would have no problem with it. It's just I'm a bit more sketched out. Not having one or having spent my Forest Seal. There is a double cross switchers. Pulling up the Genesect. So yeah, my opponent has nothing going on here. Maybe the, or no, maybe they do actually have something. I guess if they have energies in hands, well, this could just be Ultra Ball, except a barrel, vacuum, and like, but you can't get vacuum in RC's V-Star. But like, really using Melee Shuriken's not that great of a play. So yeah, probably just gonna Ultra Ball, get the barrel going, and get themselves some more cards, dumping a Frigibax. Okay. yeah, but like really using Moonlight Shuriken doesn't do a whole lot for the resources you have to spend. Like, you'd rather just put synergies in play for a Pal. They found the candy. Like, really, it's unlikely that they can do a whole lot with that without bouncing my path. But yeah, what really sucks about this is how weak my hand is right now. I guess I'll just go ahead and grab another Genesect just to pull it out of the deck. And we just are in top deck mode, so maybe really should not have dropped that path. But then that Ultra Ball gets RCS and gets him so much more, so I don't know. That definitely, I played that last turn super greedy. It didn't really pay off on either fast. I guess like path is still like really slowing them down. But it's like really also just, it's also wrecked my game plan here and also gonna end up buying them a lot of time. So yeah, really debatable path drop for sure. I'm definitely feeling the consequences right now. I'm just a total, I'm like the average Mew NPC who just like spams me. Like, I really don't know what I'm doing, and yeah. Nothing to see here, guys. Just your average Mew player being a bot. Path should not have been dropped. I would definitely be farther up in this game. I think this is like one of the biggest mistakes. Okay, yeah, like they're doing nothing either, but like neither am I. So like, what does it really matter? I think this is one of the biggest mistakes I see Mew players make. Like, aside from just sequencing errors, because this deck is a nightmare to sequence. Just like playing path down just because the card glows green, like just with no other reason aside from that. Like, you gotta evaluate the whole board state, and 5 on Starburst, really, so what? Like, I guess. So the odds of them finding the pieces to take a big 4-prize knockout or 3-prize knockout with 4 cards in hand is incredibly low. So really, if you evaluate like the risk versus the reward, like the risk, really the reward for drawing path is very little, versus the risk is just like sitting here. Like, now Moonlight Shuriken's good because you can just like take knockouts on these guys eventually, depending on how little I can do. I know it's a 3-shot, but like if I'm doing this poorly, it doesn't honestly matter that much. See, yeah, so maybe I'm gonna retitle this video "How Not to Play Mew VMAX." Like, I'm totally cool with keeping matches like this in the video because really the point isn't like the point of the videos is to help you play the deck better. So I'm cool with this. Like, if this helps you play Mew better yourself, then that's fine with me. The only thing it's bad for is my rating on ptcg, and I don't really care too much about that. So I honestly need to top deck something next turn, or it's like kind of, yeah, it's kind of a do or die top deck here. Because that other Pal down, like if I could take 2 prizes with the Mew VMAX, I probably win, or I'm in a pretty good position to win. But my own path is doing me so much more harm than good, and I'm just really not getting anywhere. I don't have any other Pokemon to thin out, do I? I'm just like, yeah, I'm just in absolute top deck mode. If they have Superior, that's just 4 prizes, and that's bad news. Yeah, really scuffed this game. There's that Superior. So yeah, just in general, Path to the Peak glows green. You do not have to slam it down. As Mew specifically, like there's a lot of decks where you don't need your abilities after turn 2. Mew's not one of those. It plays basically like you're playing Judge, but you're playing like, no strong draw supporters. Like get you a ton of cards. You're super reliant on Genesect to advance your board states. So like when this happens, whether you play the path or your opponent plays path, and you can't Genesect, it's just being in top deck mode sucks. So yeah, this path did so much more harm than good. And if I don't top deck a card this turn, I've lost. I probably am still like with the barrel in play with Pal loaded up, double backs. Like my opponent's even like ditching Pokestop. Like they know how much this path is hurting me. Like I'm not even playing Ayano in this list. Yeah, Echoing Horn, useless. So deserved to lose this game with how poorly I played, but hopefully this is just a lesson to you guys that, I mean, this is like why these videos exist on my channel, or games like this end up in the videos. Like, I could be one of those guys who just cuts all the losses. But the point isn't just to, I guess like the point is to sort of show how dominant the deck can be, but I feel like showing the pitfalls, some potential strategy errors is sometimes even more valuable than showing the deck at its peak. So, taking a couple rough L's in this video, but overall, I'm cool with it.